First of all, Caleb, we just got a chance to meet a few minutes ago, so this is your first chance to talk to any sort of Dallas-related media, I believe. Just what's your general feeling about the trade and coming here to Dallas and getting a chance to start playing with the Mavericks?
I feel good. Things happen, quickly, change real quickly, but I think I'm supposed to be here. I think things happen for a reason. Just watching the guys the other night, the style of play I think is there. I think the fit is there. I think the effort, and I think we got some really good pieces, and I'm excited to play.
Thanks, Caleb. Max, as I said during the introduction, it's unique whenever a team makes a trade and you start playing games before you get to do your introductory press conference with everyone. But that is the case. You've had a chance to play 2 games, a big win last night in Boston. How have you felt adjusting to your new teammates, and what's it been like getting out of the floor and competing with those guys this week?
Yeah, it's been fun. Caleb kind of said it. It's kind of cool. Obviously, the transition is fast, but we got a good win in Boston last night. And for me, just trying to come in and fit in seamlessly, just play with a lot of effort and intensity. The style of play that we have is very free-flowing and very easy to kind of integrate to. So I'm looking forward to continuing to get my feet wet with the system and get used to the concepts and win some more games.
AD, you've had a chance to join your new teammates on the road. I know that you haven't had a chance to play in a game, but you've been in shoot-around and practices, interacting with a lot of individuals that you're familiar with, Jason Kidd, Jared Dudley, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, etc. So you know a lot of these guys. You've been there. You've experienced getting introduced to the team, that is, in Philadelphia, and seeing the win last night in Boston. What's been your experience and your vibe out on the road so far as you get ready to play your first game?
Yeah, the vibes are high. Energy is great. I like our team. I like the way the guys are playing. Obviously, it was a big win last night in Boston. Had the game in Philly as well. But I'm excited. I'm excited to play. I'm excited to add value to this team. Obviously, adding Max and Caleb, with they already have here. Going to be an exciting season for us.
All right. Thanks, AD. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Caleb. And you guys can take it over for questions. And we'll help out from that regard. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, D. Tim McMahon with ESPN. First, are you good to go tomorrow, and any limitations there?
Yeah, I'm going to play tomorrow.
Listen, follow what I just read off your resume. Like, when you went to New Orleans, you're the #1 overall pick. It's a celebration in the city. You go to L.A., they pulled off this blockbuster deal that they've been trying to do, a huge celebration. This is different because of who they gave up to get you. This is frankly a heartbroken fan base. What is that like for you to kind of walk in to that situation, and what do you anticipate in terms of kind of the response?
I understand it. I mean, obviously it's a business, and I get who Luka was to this franchise, to this city. I'm never going to downplay that. Just how I know what I meant to the city of LA. So I'm not surprised by the fans' reaction and the city's reaction, but it's my job to come in, play basketball, and do what I'm supposed to do, and give the fans hope and reassurance on why Nico brought me here. So I don't know how tomorrow's going to be as far as the reaction, but I can't control that. What I can control is go out and just winning basketball games and helping the team do whatever I can. But at the end of the day, I'm going to get a city, get them life back. Obviously it's a tough transition. It was a shock, to all. But like I said, my job is to come in and play basketball and win basketball games.
Over here, Dwayne Price. DwaynePriceMath.com, right here. AD, what was your first reaction to the trade? And this has been a big week, obviously Super Bowl week, and it's kind of like the whole NBA took over this week and all that. Just your reaction to that, and what ways do you see you can help this team win an NBA title?
I think my reaction was just like everyone else's. I was shocked. But, you can't, stay in that state of emotion for a long time. I have to come here and help this team win. I think defensively I can add value to a great defensive team already with Gaff and, when Live come back, and PJ, X, all like Max and Caleb, so I think we can be a pretty good defensive team, and then offensively just complement what they already have. You know, they have guys who can shoot the basketball, guys who with lob threats. Obviously, we know what Kyrie's able to do, and then just watching the guys play over the past couple games, really learning more about the guys that I probably didn't watch as much, and learning how important they are to this team. So I'm excited to get going tomorrow and just see what we're able to do.
Mike Curtis, Dallas Morning News, right here. Obviously in Los Angeles, they ran a lot of the offense through you. Just based on your conversations with Jason Kidd and Nico, what are some of the plans offensively, and how different your role will be from how it was in Los Angeles?
They're taking some of the same concepts that I had in LA and bringing it over. We talked about it in the shoot-arounds I've been part of and the one practice that I've been a part of. So we're not going to change too much, but we are adding things to kind of get me in the same position that I was in LA.
Christian Clark with The Athletic. Just wondering how you're feeling with the hip injury and, just an idea of when you could be back on the court.
Feeling a lot better. I feel like I'm progressing really well. Just still taking it day by day, but I'm assuming that I'm come back fairly quickly. I'm just just trying to stay focused on the rehab and like I said, just take it day by day. But definitely seeing progress and definitely heading in the right direction.
Any questions for Max?
We'll get to Max's take. Kevin Gray back here on this for AD. AD, for you, what was the vision that Nico Harrison had for you coming to this team, and how he saw you as the centerpiece of this deal to be able to help this team move forward with the skill set that you bring, and how that will be incorporated moving forward here?
I think he said in his press conference about defense and winning championships, and obviously I'm a defensive-minded guy, and like I said, I think adding what I'm able to do defensively, whether it's in pick and roll, on the post and the perimeter, whatever the case may be, I can add value to this team and help the guys who's already great at defensively, and also help the guys who maybe struggle. So, bringing that defensive energy, that defensive mindset, to this team, and I think that's what we are going to lay our hats on. You can't control the ball going in every single night, but you can control your energy and effort on the defensive end. So that's what I'm going to try and do. That's what I want to instill into the guys, and hopefully that let us carry to win some games.
Richard Solomon, reporter for WFA News ABC. This is a question for all y'all, but I mean, we talked a lot about basketball, but I want to ask y'all, mentally as men, like, how do you prepare just to uproot your families like that in an abrupt trade? I mean, none of you were expecting that. We weren't expecting this. AD, you're one of the best players in the world, like we just heard. But just how are you guys doing mentally with this abrupt change being here?
For me, I've been traded twice now, but the first time I asked for a trade, so I was already mentally prepared for it. And it was in the summertime. Now, this was a little different. I was shocked at first and mentally just all over the place. I didn't believe it, actually, at first. I'm pretty sure nobody did. But when I was headed on a plane to Dallas, that's when it kind of like, this is really happening. And then I think the days after, like the physical and stuff, you still kind of just like in a fog. But when I was able to get around the team the first time in Philly, I was fine. I think the game of basketball allows me and probably everyone else to kind of be in a safe place and kind of get away from everything. I know anytime I'm going through anything, I can go to the gym or anything with basketball kind of just brings me back to center and bring me back to peace. So I know tomorrow I'll be on the floor. When that ball's tipped up for the opening tip, I'll be fine. But I think mentally now, just being around the guys and having a chance to be on the court a couple days and hanging out with the guys, laughing and joking, I'm in a great place.
Noah Weber from Cuban, back here. This was a question over here. This was a question for both AD and Max. One thing, about 12 hours after the trade, Nico said that both of y'all are going to be guys that add to the culture here in Dallas. From what you've understood so far about the organization, what is Mavericks culture, and how do y'all plan to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, playing in my first 2 games so far with the Mavs, like the culture is very, everybody's super together. Everybody's communicating with each other really well. Everybody kind of takes care of each other, and I've noticed that too for me, kind of coming in as the new guy. Everybody's kind of just corralling around me and trying to make me feel comfortable. So I appreciate that a lot about the organization, about the team. So it feels like a big family for sure, and I think that's important. For any organization that's trying to win, at a high level, being able to have everybody on the same page. And I feel that as the new guy coming in, they've been able to welcome me with open arms. And I feel a lot more comfortable, obviously, after these first 2 games, getting those out the way, kind of getting to know the guys, know the coaching staff better and all the staff that work here. So it's a one big family and something that I really appreciate from the organization so far.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback on what Max said, what he said was great, but also adding to that is the competitive spirit that the guys have. I know, J.K. is a competitive. Obviously, Nico's a competitive. Like, all these guys on the team are, competitors, and having that mindset to come out and compete every night. I love to play the game and compete every night and leave it all on the floor. So play to exhaustion, right? And like I said, being able to see these guys up close and personal on the bench, I've seen that out of every guy, and guys have each other backs, and guys are supportive. Guys, it could be a simple layup, and guys are standing up clapping. Like guys are genuinely happy for the next guy. So it's gonna be fun.
TV. Question for Max and AD. I'd love to get your thoughts as well. Obviously, a lot of people didn't know as much about you. And I know you were drained after your first game in a quick shoot around, and you played so well. And then you come back out against Boston and do it again. Is this what you hope to bring to the table every night? And AD, is this what we can expect from Max?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, my biggest goal is just contributing energy and effort to the game on both ends of the floor. Obviously, just trying to knock down open shots and be aggressive when it's my time, when I'm open. But I think for me, defensively is where I can really hang my hat on, especially for this team. You got AD and Kai, guys that can really score. So for me to get on the floor and be able to contribute at a high level, I can be able to guard the best defender and just kind of cause havoc on that end of the floor. So, yeah, like you said, I'm going to play hard every single night, and I'm going to be tired after every single game. But, that's the goal, and that's how you win basketball games. You play at a high level with a lot of effort and a lot of intensity, and, hoping to contribute that way.
I think, yeah. I mean, what we've seen from Max the past couple games is, it's nothing surprising to me. I've seen him grow and, work on his game tirelessly over the past 3 years when I've been with him. So, he takes on challenges. He's very coachable. We had many times where I screamed at him and yelled at him. And the first couple of years, it was like, oh, I can't curse, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm going to say. But he's been very receptive to, us trying to help him learn, especially since we've been in the game for a long time. So, but what he's able to do defensively, he takes on the challenge of guarding the other team's best perimeter player, and he's making over shots, making big plays, can get to the basket, can pass. There's really no hole in his game, but he's always in the gym getting better. So, everything that I've seen the past 3 years and what you guys seen the past couple of games, that's what you can expect from Max.
Isaac Harris, Locked On Mavs. AD, you've obviously played the 4 and the 5 in your career. What's it about playing the 4 alongside another big that opens up your game?
I just think, since I've been in the league, that's just been my natural position. I have no problem playing the 5. I just think playing a 5 over, an extended period of time, an 82-game season is just wear and tear on your body. Obviously, I've done enough to, sustain playing a 5, but, having guys like Gaff and Live, I just think, it's going to be scary, for opposing teams on the defensive end, offensively. And I just look back on my career, every time every season in New Orleans, I had a 5 next to me. Obviously, we've seen what, I was able to do with me and DeMarcus, and then, my first year in LA with 2 bigs, obviously winning a championship. But I just feel like I can unlock my game a little bit more at the 4.
And when Nico makes a trade like this, you've obviously had a lot of people in your career believe in you. But when he makes a trade of this magnitude, what's it mean to you? How does it make you feel that he believed in you this much?
It means a lot. Like I said, before, obviously I understand what, who Luka is and, what he's able to do and what he's already done for our game. He's a phenomenal player. Gonna be one of the best, to ever play the game of basketball. But to have Nico, trade for me just shows his belief in what I can do on the floor, and it's my job to, produce every night and have Mav Nation believe that as well. So I'm excited for the challenge.
Good afternoon. Valencia King with Real Talk Sports to your left. Thank you and welcome to Dallas. Thank you for your time today. My question is for all of you. So I know the game of basketball will come first and foremost, obviously, but I also know that you guys are dedicated to be involved in the communities that you've played in. So when the time comes, how much are you looking forward to getting integrated into the city of Dallas?
I'm looking forward to it tremendously. That's one of the first things I talked about with the Mavericks staff when I got here. I just kind of rebooted my foundation and kind of, redefined it. So I'm excited to kind of bring that here. And I've been hearing great things about, Dallas and how it's a family-oriented city. And so I'm excited, obviously my family's here, and I'm excited to kind of get out into the community and do as much as I can.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off that, I'm not super familiar with the Dallas area. I've never really lived here and been here, but obviously that I'm here now, I'm looking forward to kind of getting integrated into the community, kind of learning more about the city, the community, the suburbs, everything, all around that. So I'm looking forward to kind of just integrating myself into this whole, Dallas culture that we got going here. So, like AD said, I've heard great things as well about this city, about the community, and I'm looking forward to kind of getting myself into that as well.
Yeah, same pretty much. I mean, I feel like, when you got a couple of new faces, I think it's important to put yourself out there and kind of let the fans and the community know who you are more than just basketball players. So I think that'll say a lot and, shed a even better light as much as we can. And obviously through a lot of transition with the community, between the organization and the city, obviously with trades and everything. So I think it's important for us to get back when we can and like I said, just put ourselves out there.
Dorothy Gentry with iMessenger Media. This question is for you, AD. Off the court, talk a little bit about foul play and your funny side and your opportunity to kind of show your humorous side, and how'd you get involved with that? What can fans and viewers expect to see?
I didn't know y'all knew about that. That's my TV show I have coming out after the All-Star game, prank show that I have. I'm honestly just like a big kid. I try to have fun with everything. Obviously, basketball, brings enough stress just as a competitor. And so everybody, who I have like in my corner kind of reminds me to not let the rest of your life be stressful. I love having fun. I love pranking people. I love, just being a big kid. And so, I have a production company and decided to start a prank TV show. So it's going to be fun. It comes on after the All-Star game. So I'm excited about it, but it was really fun doing that.
AD over here. Joe Trahan, WFAA TV. Welcome. We've heard both you and Kyrie talk about the fact that y'all have talked about playing together before. So now that you guys will get that opportunity, I'm curious the way that you see it. How will he elevate your game, and how can you maximize his?
Yeah, me and Kai talked about this in 2018 when he was in Boston. And, now it's kind of coming to fruition where we get a chance to play with each other. So I think just having a guard, like Kai, who's able to score, who's able to pass, attack downhill, like he can do it all. There's no flaw in his game. And just I don't think he's played with a guy like me as well who can play in the pocket, who can roll to the rim, be a lob threat, can pick and pop, can handle where he can come set a screen for me. It's a different dynamic that I bring to him and that he brings to me. So I think we complement each other very well.
One other thing on a different note, what coaches like to say, the best ability is availability, and you've done a great job the last 2 seasons, 76 games and 56 games. What have you learned about your body that has made you to become more available?
Well, I think, honestly, all my injuries has been freakish injuries. I mean, it's nothing that has been structural or something that I can't control. I mean, everything, I put a lot of work into, my body and making sure that I'm available on the floor. but most times it's, stuff that I really can't control. My last major injury that I missed, I think like 20 games, 25 games, was something in my foot that was there since college I never knew about and just like broke off. So, but anything else that I'm able to control, I put a lot of work in, with my training staff to make sure I'm available on the court for my team.
Joey Mastretta with Clutch Points back here. My question's for AD and Max. What are your guys' biggest takeaways from playing with a superstar like LeBron James?
For me, I'd say I'm a pretty observant person. Just seeing how he approaches the game, seeing how he, approaches each practice, each game, how he takes care of his body. I could say the same for AD, being with someone of his caliber as well. Just seeing how they both approach the game, both from the physical and mental side, is something I've been very observant with, and I've been able to take bits and pieces and to kind of add them into my repertoire as well. And then being able to play with them, obviously they attract a lot of attention because they're all-star caliber players and obviously best players to ever play the game. So for me to kind of just be able to play off of them, being able to make the right play off of them as well. But for me, the most part is just observing how they attack the game, both mentally and physically, and how I'm able to kind of add some of those pieces from their repertoire into mine as well, so that I can kind of have the success that they have as well.
For me, I think everything Max said, obviously, but just from a leadership standpoint, how he's able to lead the team is very vocal. So I think over my first 7 years, I always led by example. But then, the past 5.5 years being around him, I've realized that, players don't always want to hear the coach's voice, and you have a better connection with, your teammates than probably the coach do. So just trying to be more vocal, and I've done that over the past, couple years. So I think from that standpoint, I learned a lot from that aspect.
Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. This is for AD. You mentioned, briefly talked about Nico a while ago. I was wondering if you could describe when and how you guys first met, how your relationship evolved, and how that might or might not impact your comfortability in settling here in Dallas.
I think we first met when I was in high school. Obviously he was working for Nike, and I was going to all the Nike camps and everything like that. And just through the course of the years, when he was with his tenure with Nike, I've just been a Nike athlete, so we've just been close like that and developed a relationship. But having Nico here, familiar with Jake Kidd, Does, Mag Tar, all these guys, it's a little bit more comfortable in the transition, instead of going somewhere where you don't know anyone. Now you have to figure everything out. So it made the transition a lot smoother.
Leslie McCaslin, Mavs TV. This is for Caleb. Caleb, how did your time in Miami shape you in your game, just in the Eastern Conference Finals, and maybe help you bring some leadership here as well?
I just think just the culture there. Obviously, everybody speaks on the culture in Miami. Just me being there, realized it being kind of a real thing. But I think it's just the main thing was just having a certain standard, to play at, to approach the game at, and a certain level of professionalism. I feel like I just try to take away from me. So, but also understanding playing with certain guys who, Jimmy at the time and Bam and those guys playing at a certain level, and kind of like what Max was saying, playing with guys, superstars, learn how to play off guys like that, and obviously that's going to come in handy with Kai, AD, and down the line, just learn how to play with those guys. But I think just being there, just on how to approach the game, and also like they said, kind of just playing to exhaustion. Kind of one thing that we made up in Philly was kind of play till death. So I like to kind of try to go by that as much as possible.
Sam Gannon, Fox 4 News here in Dallas. This question is for AD. AD, you, Kyrie, and Clay all have a championship pedigree. How can you guys use that to your advantage, and what kind of tone do you three as veterans on this team want to set as you guys make a run for a championship with that win it now mentality?
Yeah, I think just bringing that championship experience to the group. I mean, obviously you see Clay set the tone last night, with a great first quarter. But I think for all of us, just kind of navigating all the guys through that, telling them what it takes. It's a different level of playing style, a different level of details, different level of focus that you got to have throughout the course of the season, especially in the playoffs. Everything is magnified. So, obviously this team reaching the finals last year. You got a target on your back, and once you get that feeling, obviously you want to, get there again. And some of these guys been there, so they know obviously what it takes. But just trying to help this team get over the hump.
Carlos Revelo from Telemundo 39. I saw a recent picture of Max and Mexican artist Peso Pluma. Also AD being from Chicago, living in LA. What's your message to the Somos Mavs fan base? And any Spanish for both of you guys, or three of you?
No.
Yeah, I ain't got no Spanish. I'm not confident enough in my Spanish to be able to sit here, but yeah, I mean, to those fans, and obviously to every fan in this Mavs fan base, obviously, I think all three of us are really excited just to get integrated, get to know you guys, and feel your love and support, obviously during this transition period for everybody. So, we're going to be professionals as best we can and try to go out and put our best foot forward on the floor. But, we're really excited to get to know all these fans and get to know everybody and being able to hopefully feel the love from everybody as we continue to win these games. So we're looking forward to that.
I don't know Spanish, so
Caleb over here, Dwayne Price, Math.com. Just tell us, what did you learn about yourself playing on the big stage in the NBA Finals? And also, what are some of the pluses having a brother in the NBA?
I just think that, I think a lot, like we were saying earlier, like, playing, in Miami, just things I learned on the way allowed me to get to that point to learn how to find myself on a stage like that. And I think just definitely playing on a stage like that has prepared me afterwards. And I think, anybody who's gotten to that point, there's nothing else that you want to play for. Anything that if you don't get to that point, your season kind of feels like a failure. And I think that's the kind of the standard and the motto this organization goes by, is a ton of winning history here. And I feel like we got a lot of guys who on this team right now who get it and understand that that's what we're playing for. And, to be the last team standing is the ultimate goal. And I think the approach for that each and every day will definitely reflect that. And my brother being in the league obviously helps a lot. We're each other's toughest critics and biggest fans at the same time. So we keep it real with each other out there every game. And, just things that we can work on, things we can be better, things we did well, things to keep note. So I just think that we keep each other as level as possible, as much as possible, and, but also enjoy each other's success.
Joey Mastretta with Clutch Points over here. My question's for Max. So when the trade first happened, it was AD is getting traded for Luka. That was the headline. And you're in the trade. You hear about the news. What's going through your head? You're going to Dallas with AD and a pick. Just what's going through your head? Just take us through that.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely obviously pretty shocked. Obviously, a trade of that scale and that magnitude is going to be shocking to anybody, especially the people that are involved in it. But for me, I'm big on perspective, and being able to be a part of a trade of that magnitude is definitely kind of flattering for me. So I was definitely shocked, but at the end of the day, after I kind of started to process my emotions and kind of realize what was going on, trying to find the positive out of everything, I was able to find a positive in that. So I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to be here with this team and try to win a lot of games for us. But yeah, it was shocking, but played 2 games now already, feel a lot more comfortable than I did when I first got traded. So I'm looking forward to continuing to build on that.
Skyler Dixon with the Associated Press. AD, if you could have a conversation in English with a heartbroken or angry Mavs fan today, what would you say?
I'll just tell them that, obviously you got a guy who's going to leave it on the floor every night, a guy who's going to compete, every night and bring that championship experience to the organization. Try to help lead this team, to some wins and into some championships.
And Max, this is a little bit related to what you were just asked, but you've seen the reaction to this trade. You've been watching it for a couple of days. You've been alongside him as he's kind of stepped into all this. What's been your thought of having kind of watched all that happen, sort of alongside him?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have, a teammate of mine kind of come with me, or I'm coming with him as well, to a new destination. But again, I'm big on perspective and just trying to put one foot in front of the other and trying to stay, as professional as I possibly can. AD said it earlier, this is a business. And so once we all sign up for this, once we all get, drafted onto a team, we know that that's part of the deal. So for me, just being as professional as I possibly can, putting my best foot forward, trying to play the best game that I can to help this organization win games. That's why I'm here, is to try to help winning, and I'm looking forward to contributing every night.
Let's take some pictures.